I don't know how I did it. After opening home bakery, I wanted to open home bakery kitchen. Home bakery kitchen has lunch and dinner menus, and it's a bit different than what I created first. And I have a good background when it came to pastry because I had a longer time practicing with it, but I didn't have culinary experience when it comes to food. So after having all my kids, I decided to go to culinary school.
Wow.
So I had a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old, and then my 2 older kids, I left them with my mom, and I went to London to study culinary school. That, for me, was, I think, the hardest thing that I have ever done, because I had to juggle so many things at the same time. I had to manage my kids. My mom, like, khalas, she's like, you guys finished and you finished homework, and I have to deal with your kids and their homework. Managing them from afar, having 2 little ones as well at home and school.
Today we are in Sharjah Entrepreneurial Festival in 2025. It's one of the biggest events when it comes to Riyadat al-Amal and entrepreneurship endeavors in the UAE, which is booming for the last 10-20 years. But like, what's interesting is that it's the first time that Checked is doing a podcast outside of Potster. We're here with Hind. It's an interesting story that I cannot believe that it's happening. It's very crazy how the universe brought me to this lady, because 1 week ago, one of my friends, she was telling me about her. There was like this lady, it was an interesting story, because I asked her, I need female founders in my podcast that born and made, and they started from the UAE, and there is none of them in my podcast. I need one episode like this. And she told me about Hind's story. 2 days ago, Isa from the festival, he called me. He was like, Walid, we want you to do a podcast with one interesting lady, and it's, subhanallah, it happened to be you. So it was destined to be.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here in the festival and
Thank you for having me.
Just to give a brief introduction about yourself to my audience, just to get to know you,
Sure.
for them to get to know you.
I'm Hind Almulla. I'm founder and creative director of Home Bakery Kitchen, and La Khante. And
right.
I've been doing this for 10 years. Before that, I started from home, and it was a home business that kind of grew organically out of my little kitchen.
Wow. These small things that become so huge, and they start from
nothing.
From nothing.
Literally from nothing.
I mean, in the US, it used to happen in Silicon Valley, but today we're having, there is a lot of examples in Dubai I've seen that women started something from the kitchens.
Yeah.
And because the market is so good, that thing is appreciated by the market, and it's going viral, and people are consuming it.
It's people coming out of their shells.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first started, looking back at this 10, 11 years ago, the idea of a homegrown brand to come into a mall or a strip mall or any mall that was not a franchise was something completely unheard of. Malls weren't accepting me. They would just shut their doors, because it was something that was not normal. I was not a franchise. I was not a brand. I'm not local bringing a franchise from the outside. I'm someone that's actually building something from scratch and from my little kitchen. So I had so many doors shut down, and they were like, we'll put you in the food court. And for someone who didn't have a location, I should have been just happy with, I'll put you in the food court.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't see myself there. I had this other vision and dream for what I wanted from my store, and I was like, nope, my dream is so much bigger, and what I envision for myself is so much bigger than what they have for me. So I kept looking for that right location, for that right store to open Home Bakery for the first time, and for it to be that key location. But it wasn't something that people were accepting about.
You know, there is a lot of people that they have a dream and they sell it short.
Yes.
You know, they sell it short. The first opportunity, they jump on it.
Yes.
Very few people, they have such confidence in their vision and then dream, and they're confident about themselves, that they have this limit. Like, no, you cannot put me here. I'm bigger than that. You don't see it now, but I know.
Yes, exactly. Like because it wasn't something that was popular then.
Yeah.
Local people, Emiratis, it was either a franchise brand, but something that came out of the house it didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then after I opened, and I remember this, like working for at least we were working 2 months in, and I had to work in my store eventually, because I didn't have a manager. I know how to run a kitchen. I don't know how to run a restaurant. So my husband looked at me literally the first day after we kind of took off the sticker. We were bombarded by the amount of people that walked in. People say soft opening. We did not have soft opening. We got whiplash opening.
But how come it was a huge
because we established our brand from home. We had a really good following on Instagram.
Okay.
We had a very good client base from all over the GCC already. I had people coming to my house, sending me boxes, fill it up, and I'll take it with me to Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi, just anywhere.
Okay, Hind, just burst my bubble. There was something in the beginning, before everybody know you, something you had in your bakery, I don't know,
Chewy Melt.
The recipe?
Chewy Melt Cookies.
So that was the key, that was the boom.
That was what kind of put us on the map.
All right.
People were still ordering a lot of things from us, but when I created the Chewy Melt, it was actually a mistake in the kitchen. It was not a recipe that I found on the internet. No, I was trying to make a double chocolate chip cookie. I didn't have the ingredients. I whipped something up in the kitchen, and we got the Chewy Melt cookie. And it was ugly. It was flat. It had cracks in it. And I was like, this is not going to look great. I dusted with icing sugar, and I just took it to my grandma's house. And my uncle was trying it. And he was like, who made this? This is so good. And I went, I tried it, and I was like, okay, I can fix this. So I went back to the kitchen, tweaked the recipe a little bit because it was too flat. It was just too thin. I needed to adjust it a little bit until I got it perfect. And I remember the day that we launched the Chewy Melt cookie, we were so busy that I just physically couldn't handle the orders anymore.
I want to eat this thing. Where is it? Bring it now. Wow, that's interesting. Like a lot of things that happen by accident is like God giving you like a some push.
Exactly.
Like, good, take this,
And that's what kind of put us on the map, and that's how people kind of recognized us with the Chewy Melt cookie. And when we opened home bakery, like there was the wait, the 2 months before you open, because I had to like stop the production from home because khalas, we're opening now in our new store. So I had to like stop working for a while and just focus on opening the store. There was people waiting, texting, when are you going to open again? I had to turn off the phone that was taking orders because we couldn't handle the bombardment that was happening.
So basically, the cookie you created, it was so good that it traveled word to mouth. There was a trick you did on Instagram. What was the...
It was... So my brother has a majlis, and whenever there is something new that I'm trying, it gets sent there first.
Okay.
So it's like, imagine like 20, 30 guys in one little place, and I sent them the cookies to try. They went crazy over it. They told everyone. Then they were ordering for their families. And that's how it and of course we posted on Instagram, but like I said, it wasn't a pretty cookie. So you have to try it to actually fall in love with it.
Where is it?
I'm sorry, I don't have it here.
Okay, I will order it. I will make sure to eat that thing. Okay, listen. There's an interesting thing because in Czech we're a little bit edgy. We're a little bit provocative, controversial. And what's happening in the UAE is so big, it's so huge, and people, they are jealous. I'm telling you, in the external world. And whenever I talk about Dubai or one of my guests, especially the Westerners, when they praise Dubai, the UAE, Sharjah, what's going on, the evolution is huge. The opportunities are everywhere. People, they start throwing some hate. People, they start bashing the Arabic woman, and I don't see that. It's completely the opposite. And you are a very clear example for that. What do you think? What do you think about this? If these people they're listening today or now, what do you want to tell them?
Honestly, it didn't start off like that. Honestly, like if I look back 11 years ago, putting my apron on and standing at the cashier in my cafe, I was looked at as, what is she doing? Why is she working in her cafe? We don't have locals working in the cafe. And I received so much backlash because it was something unheard of. And it wasn't until Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum came to my store because he heard there are locals working there. it was because of him that it became something celebrated. It was because of him that he's like, you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. You're working hard. You're trying to prove yourself. You've created something from nothing. I support you and I believe in you. Go for it. And if he didn't do that for me or anyone else in that same position, I wouldn't be here today. Everyone else wouldn't be here today. The ecosystem of Dubai won't be what it is today because of that little move. Him coming and supporting gave everyone, I can be her too. I can do that as well. I can come out of my shell. And every single Emirati, woman, man, whether they're working a 9-to-5 job, whether they're at home, they're raising their kids, they all had that chance to dream and believe that I can be Hind too. I can open my dream. I can have my own business. And yes, the country is supportive of this.
You know, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, he's smart and he know his history. He know history in general. I think he's a good history student because all the nations in the old days, thousands of years ago, all the leaders, they needed heroes with them. They needed to promote some heroes coming from that nation. And I think that's what's happening. Like this nation, we're starting to see heroes, either locals or people who are either born or brought up here, or they came here from nothing and they become somebody. And that's what I'm trying to focus on my podcast. And I'm happy that I'm having a story now in front of me that is very valuable for the vision of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. But I think even before that, even before his visit, you were becoming something. So he gave you the next stage.
He gave me
that push.
He definitely gave me that push. And going back to the negative comments, it was like if he didn't come to support me, I really don't think that I was going to be here today, because the amount of hate that I got, the amount of backlash that I got, the amount of negative comments that were coming through. When you're someone who's been working so hard to kind of build something, and you see the people's comments and the negativity that comes from it, and you haven't seen your kids and you haven't seen your husband and you're just working day and night, you end up burning out.
Yeah.
Especially when someone's not giving you that pat on the back. Good job. You know, you're doing really great. That little support that he kind of did and showing himself and coming here, that changed everything. It changed everything. It kind of gave me that, oh my God, I'm actually doing something good. I'm actually doing something right. Like, he's not embarrassed. He was actually proud of us. He was like, yes, keep going.
He's changing the culture in a way, in a positive way.
Absolutely. He's empowering women. And I love that there is so much women empowerment in the UAE that they're celebrating us in every single possible way, which is amazing.
So you heard it. It's not what you think. Here we have an example, and she's a local lady, which is a very conservative environment. And conservative doesn't mean you cannot be an entrepreneur lady or a female entrepreneur. It's on the contrary. I think when you're a conservative, you can focus more on your work. You don't have like those extra disturbances left and right. Okay, so basically, Hind, I just want to know something. When you started doing all these things, these experiments in your kitchen, did you think that one day you would reach this point? Have you had that vision, or maybe the vision was a little bit smaller than what you are today?
Absolutely, it was so much smaller. It was just, I just wanted one little corner shop that I could just work from and just sell and just be busy, but busy within myself and not go overboard. But now I have 10 shops, 2 more coming this year. We have a branch in Saudi. We're opening another one. So I can't say I'm small anymore. We're really branching out really big.
10 branches, you're there. All right, like now we're going to go to the little bit of, these are the hard questions.
Sure.
All right. So an entrepreneur life is a very tough life.
Yes.
So let's say a male entrepreneur, he will have a tough life, but I mean, he would not be as invested as a female entrepreneur in the family, especially if you have kids, let's say.
Yeah.
So I think why a female entrepreneur life is way harder than a man's entrepreneur life is because a female entrepreneur, she's very important in her kid's life. It's like
in her family's life.
Yeah, like especially the kids, or like even the husband. Like sometimes the husband is another kid. You know what I mean? But you know, she there is that support. If a father is absent versus the mother absent, the impact of the mother absent is harder.
It's bigger, 100%.
Right? So how you're managing this?
See, like you said, they won't ask this question to a man, but they only ask this to women. And I'm a mother of 4 kids, and I have 2 teenagers and I have 2 toddlers. So it's not going to say that it's easy. It comes with its own set of challenges, but we make it happen day in and day out. We just make it happen. There's no such thing as there's a balance. There's no balance. We just show up for our kids when our kids need us, and we show up for work when our work needs us, and we just make it work. I think for me, when I look back, I think the hardest part that I had to do, because after opening Home Bakery, I wanted to open Home Bakery Kitchen. Home Bakery Kitchen has lunch and dinner menus, and it's a bit different than what I created first. And I have a good background when it came to pastry because I had a longer time practicing with it, but I didn't have culinary experience when it comes to food. So after having all my kids, I decided to go to culinary school.
Wow.
So I had a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old, and then my 2 older kids, I left them with my mom, and I went to London to study culinary school. That, for me, was, I think, the hardest thing that I have ever done, because I had to juggle so many things at the same time. I had to manage my kids. My mom, like, khalas, she's like, you guys finished and you finished homework, and I have to deal with your kids and their homeworks. And I was like, okay, don't worry, I'll manage them. So managing them from afar, having 2 little ones as well at home and school, I don't know how I did it. Like, when people ask me how, I have no idea how I did it. I just did it.
Were you living in a proximity, like closer to your family members, or you were?
No, I was in London.
No. When you were in London with your mom with you?
No, I was by myself. It was just me and 2 babies.
Okay, so the 2 babies were with you in London?
Yes.
And the teenagers, they stayed here?
They stayed with my mom.
But when they were here, they were your house here. Was it
No, they stayed at my mom's. They stayed with my mom in her house. Yeah. They stayed with my mom in her house so that she can take care of them while I do
You know, actually, there is something is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But us, from the Arabic culture, if you noticed, one kid is raised by the uncles, the grandmother, the grandfather.
Yes.
The whole family is contributing, right?
Exactly.
And I think
we're so blessed. Honestly, we are so blessed to have family close by and supportive. And if it wasn't for my parents telling me, follow your dreams, you know, we will take care of your kids. And I'll be like,
so remember when I said when you are from a conservative background, it's easy for you to pursue your dreams and passions. Not only in your case where your family, for example, your mom, she helped you to take care of the kids, even financially, you know, because it's got like family businesses, like this conservative culture. It's really tuned to create good businessmen and businesswomen and entrepreneurs. That's what I believe. Okay, so that was a challenge in London.
It's a huge challenge.
And how long you stayed there?
I stayed there for 3 months, and then I came back, and then I did another course. So it was, I used to go and come. I used to go.
All right, so now that we spoke about the difficulty in a family, what about there is also some difficulties when it comes to relationship with your spouse, or he was very...
No, he's very supportive.
He was very supportive.
So supportive from day one. I
that's
honestly,
a pattern.
I couldn't have imagined doing this without him. Like, when I first started from home, I have 0 math skills, like absolutely 0 math skills. No Excel, no accounting, nothing. Poor thing, he set up this Excel sheet for me. He's like, Hind, input and output. That's it. You don't need to know anything else. I'm like, excellent, I can do that. So even that, he kind of made it easier for me. He was the one who kind of whispered in my ear, Hind, put an apron, stand and work in your shop, because if you don't, you're gonna lose it. It was his push. He pushed me to kind of put my face forward. I was so against having my face out there in public, in magazines and stuff like that. And he was the one, no, go ahead, go do the interview. I'm like, but I don't want my photo. He's like, why? I would tell him, no, I want to keep my life private. I wanted me as a face to stay the face for the kids. I didn't want to be recognized when I would go outside. I still want to be your wife, and people don't know who is the face behind Home Bakery. And I remember him telling me, okay, who's going to change your mind to do that actual face interview? And I was like, if CNN calls me. 1 week later, I get an email from CNN, Arabiya, and I'm like, I have to do this now.
Okay, but did he plot it or he just
No.
The universe, it's like our podcast now.
It just happened, and I was like,
yeah.
Did I manifest this? I was like, no, I did not manifest this.
No, it's a sign from God.
Yeah, and then after that, khalas, my face was out there.
You know what? I want to touch on what you said. Like a lot of hijabi women, conservative hijabi women, they're like, oh, I don't want to be in camera, and I think that's a mistake. I'll tell you why. Now, social media and stories and TV and shows, they're very influential, right?
I know.
So if you will sum up how many women are influencing the young female girls or the young girls versus how many hijabi women are doing, is very small.
It's so small.
Right?
And then there is the people who are Arab, but they don't look Arab and they claim that they're Arab and Muslim. But when you look at them, you're like, there's nothing that resembles anyone I know that is conservative, that is a hijabi, that is modest. That doesn't exist when you're in the influential world. So for me to kind of, maybe I'm just one small portion of it. You know, when I come out like this, I can be someone's sister, someone's mother, or themselves, because I'm like, this is someone that they can relate to. This is someone they see on a daily basis. So I'm happy to be this beacon of hope. I hope that I can actually put some influence to someone. That would be just great if I can do that, because I look like someone they know.
Because, you know, from a storytelling standpoint, it's bigger than just a brand that do beautiful bakery. It's bigger, way bigger than that. It's a story. It's like, that's why Shahad bin Rashid, he came to your bakery, because he wanted you to be an inspiration, especially for the young girls that have now maybe 13, 14, 15 years old. They were like, okay, my mental image for myself when I'm gonna be at that age is with this look. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Versus there is a lot of there's nothing against women who don't do hijab. It's
absolutely,
normal.
absolutely
but
not.
In our culture as Muslims, as Arabs, this is what we want to preach, right?
Yes.
So I think
we want to celebrate modesty.
Thank you so much.
You can be famous and you can be influential and still be modest and respect your values and who you are before anything else. And this is what I preach to my daughter, because for me it's all about modesty. When I tell her if she chooses to wear hijab or she chooses to wear abaya, for me it's all about, you have to respect the abaya that you're wearing, you have to respect the shayla that you're wearing, and when you're ready for it, you can go ahead and wear it, but there is that item of respecting the modesty, respecting what this symbolizes at the end of the day.
Thank you for that. I'm really I'm really happy that we're talking about this subject, because it's very dear to my spirit. I really want to preach not only what's happening in the UAE, but like us as a nation in general. Like history, they deleted what we did, like maybe less than 1,000 years ago. All what we see now, like the camera, it's the guy who come up with this. A lot of people, they don't know he's a Muslim Arab. His name is Qumura. Refer that Qumura is close to camera. Like he come up with the theory behind opticals and how you can catch an image. Anyways, I think we can recreate that, and we see that the UAE is like a beacon of that. We can see, we can feel it. You know what I mean? So let's come back to home bakery, the place that I need to eat more from. I'm lifting a lot of weight in the gym, so I can allow myself. What's the plan? You said that you have 10 stores right now.
Yes.
For the last 10 years, you come up with 10 stores, which is an average of 1 store a year, which is crazy and impressive.
It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's getting faster.
What's the plan? What's the plan? Where you see yourself after that few years, like 2, 3, 4 years?
I definitely see myself all over the GCC and maybe globally. I definitely see that. I definitely see a retail line. I definitely see products on shelves. We have been doing this on the side, where we consult and help other people kind of open up their stores. They kind of come to us for advice, and we've been doing this with friends, family, whoever wants to open up, and we're very happy to still do that. I just want to expand on that consulting a little bit and see how can I make things easier for people who want to open up a store, because it wasn't easy. Being one of the first to kind of open, it was not easy, but it does get easier. But with what's happening with the world right now and real estate, it's soaring. Everything is more and more expensive. With every store, our prices have gone up. Whether we buy equipment, whether we're hiring staff, whether you're renting. So if I can take a portion of that away from the person who's opening their cafe, especially when it's a brand new one, you want to reduce their cost. You want them to do good as well at the end of the day. So I'm trying to work on a plan for the future to kind of help people to kind of make this a smoother transition.
Amazing. I like the fact that you are also helping other people to do something that...
Absolutely. Why not?
Okay. Do you think that you are in the beginning of the journey, you reach the... Because, you know, in any business, there is like that... that jump, you know? So you think you're going to reach the stability, or you're still in the rocket is still launching?
I think the rocket is still launching.
Wow, I like that.
I think that I love growing organically. I don't want to go too fast where I can't control it myself. Yes. I still, like I said, I'm still a mother and I have a house to kind of take over. I do have my brother to help me. We're all partners in this. So I have my support, but I wanted us to grow in a way where it's something that we can control, something that we can still take care of and watch over and kind of still give our input and either macro or micromanage in a way. So we're still in the beginning. I still think we have a lot more growth in potential for our future, but I definitely want to see us kind of reach that. Okay.
Amazing.
Let me pass it down to someone else now.
Yeah, now I can rest. Hind, it was amazing talking to you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to talk to a female leader.
Thank you.
I hope I will invite you again. I'm trying to do panel talks, group discussions, because I like this type of podcast. I do one-on-ones, and additionally I do a lot of group discussions. So I'm planning maybe in the future to bring other female entrepreneurs where we're going to talk about it. And any last words you want to say?
Thank you so much for having me. I think this was a great opportunity.
Thank you so much, Hind. And the Hind from Home Bakery, you've been checked.